Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lucas and Cory for the Countdown, here to discuss a very interesting rumor that's going around the wrestling world. Pretty much what's going on is that Jeff Jarrett, who recently retired from TNA, is announcing a big project that's supposedly going to be with Toby Keith, a big country singer, and Jim Ross, and what many people think is going to be a new wrestling promotion. Now, the reason people believe this is because Jeff Jarrett and his dad, they built up TNA, and now they think that Jeff Jarrett, he had trouble with Dixie Carter management, he left, and now he wants to start up something new. Create like TNA version 2. What do you think about this?
Well, I think we'll get to that in a little bit. But so the whole idea is that, yeah, you're right, Jeff Jarrett started a new promotion, but the whole thing is that the reason why he's starting is because Toby Keith was supposed to purchase TNA. As everyone knows, TNA is having a lot of financial issues. The lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins
Toby,
was a supposed
what was his name?
one
Billy
that was going to purchase it.
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan was supposed to purchase it. He owns
like an indie one.
Indie one in Chicagoland area.
I'm not exactly sure if it was purchased or just fund. I mean, they say purchased, but I think it might have just been fund or like buy some of the share of it.
Yeah. So he
exactly
wanted to
sure.
purchase it, is what we're just going to go with. He wanted to purchase it. That fell through, so Toby Keith was supposedly going to purchase it. And negotiations fell through. So the whole thing is that negotiations fell through. A week later, Jeff Jarrett left the promotion because of that reason. And that's now where...
We don't know exactly. Obviously, this is...
Well, that's the rumor that's going on, that Jeff Jarrett left because Toby Keith wasn't able to secure a deal with TNA to purchase the promotion. That now he made an announcement that he's working on a big project, which is supposed to be a new promotion. And then Jim Ross has been brought into that equation as well. And Jeff Jarrett, left TNA for that reason. Actually, just a little side note. This is another rumor I just heard. Ties into our last video we did. But supposedly AJ Styles actually didn't want to re-sign his contract because Jeff Jarrett was leaving, and he thought that was going to be bad news for TNA. That's just something I heard through the grapevine. I mean, again, that could be totally false. It could be totally true. You really never know. Yeah. Because there's so many different rumors going around about wrestling.
Because one thing is TNA, we all know, I think we agree that there is definitely financial trouble going on there. Like they had to go back to the Impact Zone, which they can't even go back to now because it's being used up. So all the episodes that they pre-taped, they're gonna have to find somewhere else to film. But we don't know if they're in a lot of trouble or just a little trouble. But there's definitely some trouble brewing over in the Impact offices. So, what do you think about this?
Actually, real quick, before we get to that, there's also one more thing. So, Jeff Jarrett obviously left for that reason. Now, Jim Ross has been tied to us. And Jim Ross is a creative genius. That's what everyone's saying. Well, Jim Ross has declined that he's going to be a part of TNA, this new promotion.
Obviously.
He said that he has not talked about anyone about starting a new promotion. He has not spoken to Jeff Jarrett since he left WWE. He said he did meet with Toby Keith because they are friends, and I guess they saw the Sugar Bowl, so they met, they had dinner. They did talk about TNA a little bit. They talked about wrestling, they talked about country music, they talked about cooking, they talked about all this stuff. But he says he has no interest in doing this unless the money's there. Yeah. And he said then Toby Keith has very deep pockets. So, again, I mean, this...
Ross could be lying through his teeth. He could be telling
He could be telling a huge lie. I mean, obviously, he's been in the wrestling business a long, long time. And he knows how it works and how the internet goes with rumors and all that stuff. So, I mean, he could be throwing everyone off the trail. I mean, that could be it. But from what it sounds like, he is no part of new promotion.
No part
of this new promotion. No part of this new promotion.
Corey, I think we're going to have you start doing some warm-ups to make sure you don't
and so, if this is true... Not even that Jim Ross declined or he's not going to be a part of it, whatever. If it's true that Jeff Jarrett is actually starting a promotion with Toby Keith, would this be a good thing or would it be a bad thing?
I don't know. Part of me thinks it could be good as long... Okay. It's obviously going to be feuding with TNA because I think Jeff Jarrett and Toby Keith could get the coverage because they have the media attention because Toby Keith, and they could probably get on a network and all that. And it would feud with TNA.
The thing that people... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It would feud with TNA, and I'd be okay if it... I wouldn't want TNA to go under unless everybody at TNA would get jobs at the new place. So, I'd want Bobby Roode to be able to go there. I'd want James Storm, Chris Sabin, Austin Aries, all of them to be able to go to Jeff Jarrett's new promotion. I don't want any of these guys to be left off television because they're all very talented. And I don't want... it's the same because a lot of people are like, oh, yes, now TNA can die. It's like, no, because people are going to lose their jobs.
Well, yeah, but so... See, I don't know where they go on network, though, because I was reading that they might go to CMT. They go to CMT because country music, they get the same homes as Spike TV does, so it would reach the same audience, which WWE even wants to use for Raw to go on Spike. But apparently that's
Raw
owned by the
doesn't wanna go
same.
on Spike.
Raw was on Spike.
Yeah, Raw was on Spike.
That was on Spike. And so CMT is apparently owned by the same company that Spike's owned by, Viacom, I believe it's called. So I don't know if that would interfere with them going on CMT, if this was a new promotion, what's coming to true, if they go to CMT or not. I don't know if this will be good or not. It could fall in between both. I mean, right now the idea it could be good, but Jarrett did own TNA before when it first started. He did start that as own with his dad.
Well, let's keep in mind though,
and it didn't do too well.
Yeah, because he needed to find Dixie Carter to get financial.
Yeah, he didn't have the money, and obviously
not even the money. He had trouble because he needed someone to fund it.
Exactly.
So a lot of people were saying like, oh, this one he should just do the weekly pay-per-views. That wouldn't work because with that model, he needed Dixie Carter to bail him out.
I mean, the thing that could go good with this or could go bad with, I mean, obviously Toby Keith is a big name. He'd be able to bring it a lot more than like Hogan or anything like that. I mean, he's still very present nowadays, so he could bring a lot of attention to it.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe not, though. I mean, the whole thing is that the internet is a lot more big. I mean, 2002, the internet wasn't there as much. There wasn't as much online speculation on wrestling. A lot more fans are on the internet now.
Quite a bit of speculation.
And there's always tons. There'd be
Wrestling
a lot more people would know about it.
There's always been the dirt sheets.
But there'd always be a
Ryan
lot
Alvarez
more
and Dave
though
Metzler.
now. As of the last few years, there's been a lot more than there ever has before.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I don't know if it'll be good because Jeff Jarrett would probably bring in his friends again, and the big thing is that he'd bring in Vince
Russo.
I always say Russo, and I hate myself for it because I know it's wrong when he corrects me. But he's not a good storyteller.
How do you know he's friends with Jarrett?
Because that's what I read. They were saying who he'd bring in, his friends and all that stuff, and he's a terrible story writer.
Yeah, he's had some good.
He's had some good ones. When he was with Vince McMahon, Vince was able to pan out the bad storylines. But I mean, when you watch some of the stuff he's got in WCW, like he likes to interject himself in the storylines and all that stuff. Like when I found out he actually wrote a storyline that Goldberg didn't follow the script. I know that was a long time ago, but that's just so stupid. That's such an embarrassing storyline to have. Be like, hey, let's have this guy not follow the script and blatantly just point out wrestling's fake. Because at that point, they were still kind of, hey, this isn't entertainment.
No, right around that point, because with the Attitude Era, that's when everyone's kind of like, yeah, it's fake.
It was just, I don't know, stupid. But, I mean, who would Jeff Jarrett bring in? No. I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how we do it. Would it go straight to, like, TNA to weekly pay-per-views? Would it go right to TV? And obviously, I think, like you said, it would be a competitor for TNA. It wouldn't be a competitor for WWE.
Yeah, I don't think, because like Toby Keith, I don't know if a lot of country fans are big wrestling fans. You know what I mean? But who knows? I mean, I think we need to make an update on this video, like when the announcement comes out, because right now there's just too much speculation. There's not enough hard facts for me to really pick a side.
Well, I mean, this could go anywhere with this. I mean, like Ted. Who's Ted? He owned the TNT network. Ted Turner. He bought. I mean, he made WCW. He's just kind of like, yeah. Well, he bought it. Yeah, I'm sorry, he bought it. He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get in the wrestling business. And that's all he wanted to do. And then, is Toby Keith gonna put the heart into it? Because Ted Turner just kind of put the money into it. And then just kind of like, I don't care anymore. I mean, how is Toby Keith gonna be involved in it? But
Toby Keith.
Like you said, though, it's too early to tell if it's good or bad news.
Yeah.
Where it's going to come from. So I guess like you said, we'll have to make an update video.
But yeah, pretty much I guess this video is just kind of letting everybody know what's going on and saying that, it's too early to say if it's good or bad. There's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons to it. And pretty much I guess it's what you make of it. Do you want to see a change in the wrestling industry, or do you kind of want familiarity? Do you just want TNA to stay around? Because I'll be honest, I kind of am accustomed to the TNA brand. I like the product TNA is putting out. And I definitely feel that I hope TNA isn't going out of business because they're putting out the best product they have in a while. I'm feeling like there's so many great feuds going on. It feels like everybody has something going on now in TNA. Whereas before, you had a bunch of these guys just kind of standing around and, it just didn't make as much sense and there's all this weird stuff. And there's still weird stuff.
I know some of the feuds have been dragging on too long. Abyss.
Yeah, well, at least they're wrapping that up, right? At least they're wrapping it up.
Absolutely. No, they have been doing really good. So it's just a matter to see kind of what happens. Will this promotion knock out TNA? Will this promotion join TNA?
Knock out TNA.
Is this promotion going to go anywhere?
And on that note, thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, subscribe for more, and leave a comment down below on your thoughts. And we'd love to hear them. Thank you.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.